right now, episode 66 of the FlipSide.
We're talking about how to keep the main thing,
and how you can learn from the biggest fight I've ever had with my wife.
We're talking family gatherings, how you can get along with your Uncle Bud who drinks a Bud this Christmas, right now, on the FlipSide.
You gotta go there.
Hello and welcome again to the FlipSide. I'm joined with two of the strongest, both spiritually, emotionally, and physically, frankly, staff members I have here on the Granite Bay campus. I got Colton Tucker.
We'll take it, but...
No, it's the truth, man.
We'll take it.
I wouldn't wrestle you.
It.
I wouldn't wrestle you.
It's quite the setup.
Either spiritually or physically.
Okay.
And then I got, of course, Tyler Swaney here, who's in charge of our high school ministry. And you guys do so much more around here, and you're great experts. And you're both newly married and newly fathers.
Newly fathers.
How old is your daughter?
Lucy's 8 months.
8 months.
8 months.
And my daughter's name's Colby Wren. She's 7 weeks.
Wow.
7 weeks old.
So you two, in the midst of the holiday season, I'm going to kind of spring attack this on you.
Let's go.
You two, the coffee's still brewing, so chill out for me, people. We're going to bring the coffee in, but I'm going to throw this out. My first question has to do with in-laws or outlaws.
Okay.
Wow.
So we're doing a special Christmas episode right now about holiday family gatherings and how a God-honoring biblical person goes into the midst of their family. Sometimes your family will be mixed, some believers, some not believers.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be really mixed. They believe in a lot of different stuff, a lot of believers, but not the same belief. Sometimes you're the only Christian in the mix. Sometimes you've inherited a whole new family.
For better or worse.
For better or worse.
That's what it means, huh?
And now you have to share a baby. And here's I just want to start with this scripture.
Oh, yeah.
If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, here's what it says in Romans chapter 12. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone.
Yeah.
How do you guys keep the peace between your two families wanting to spend time with that little baby all Christmas? How are you guys going to navigate that?
My plan is just to listen to whatever my wife says. That's my plan.
And on this episode, I'm going to tell you why that plan will fail.
That's the go-to.
Perfect. By keeping them separated. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. We love them. They love each other.
And they've known each other for a long time. You guys
I'm
childhood
joking.
sweethearts.
Sweethearts. New thing.
Sweat a lot together, too. A lot of work in this relationship. No, we've Allie and I have been with each other. It's coming up next week on 15 years.
Wow.
So long time, pretty much half our lives. And I think one of the cool things is that our families love each other. They really do appreciate one another, see the good in each other. But one of the ways that we love them is by giving them their own time with just us as
you
family.
plan ahead and go, here's where you're going to our time. Now,
as best we can.
Where will Lucy be on Christmas morning?
Cool. One of the practical things that we just started this year is that we're going every other major holiday.
Okay.
So this year was down south for Thanksgiving. We'll be up here for Christmas.
You got a plan.
Got a plan.
That's
and
good.
then next year we're just going to flip-flop it. That way no one's hopes are dashed against the rocks because they know what's coming.
Where's baby
I've heard
Tucker
that's
on
good.
Christmas morning?
Baby, so this one
Yeah?
was Carissa and I's biggest fight.
Okay, boom.
Here we
This is
go.
our biggest fight. Our biggest fight was...
Wait.
We holding on?
Yeah, where's that?
Bring
Where's that coffee?
Bring the
We'll
coffee.
come in.
I need
We
the
need
coffee
to come
for
in.
this one.
This is good.
We're going to camp on this morning.
Okay,
guys.
let's
Popcorn
go.
over there.
Hi, Carissa.
Nice.
How you doing? Welcome to FlipSide.
Easy, okay? We don't want to stir it up here.
It's already stirred.
It's already
There's been
started.
some healing taking place.
Okay, good.
Past
Cool.
couple days.
Awesome.
I hope so.
What do we have in here?
Yeah, so we got Verve Coffee Roasters Street Level Blend. It has flavor notes of marmalade, stone fruit, and maple syrup.
Wow.
Yeah,
Stone fruit.
I don't know what it is, but
Smell that maple syrup.
sounds cool.
Stone fruit.
love
It's a little
maple
hard.
Thank you.
No problem.
This is my first, what do we call this, a pour-over?
A pour over,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's your first pour-over.
This is my first pour-over.
How are you?
First?
How are you a pastor?
This is my first
in Northern
pour-over.
California?
How are you alive in 2019?
And honestly, if I was at your guys' houses, I probably wouldn't be drinking
We're going to
this,
do
but
one whole flip side on your lack of pour-over, but okay.
We should.
So tell us about the fight.
Big family fight. So Chris and I's biggest fight was, where will we be on Christmas morning?
And we're assuming the baby will be with you.
Yes, that's right. Her biggest thing was, we're staying over at my mom's house. We want to stay over, wake up, at my mother-in-law's house. So that's something we fought, but I was like, heck no. From day one of marriage, that's the line I drew. I was like, no, we're having Christmas, just us two, and we're going to enjoy that. And
we're building our family tradition.
Building our family, right?
So you drew the line in the sand.
We drew the line in the sand. So that was...
How did this resolve?
So we compromised. So, we work here really late on Christmas Eve, and I said, we'll stay over at in-laws house as long as we want on Christmas Eve. And we'll stay there 1, 2 a.m., but we're still driving home and we're going to sleep at our house, wake up, enjoy family time together, right? So we did that for 2 years. Now there's a baby in the picture.
Yep.
And so I went up to Krista this year and I said, hey, we're staying over at your parents' house this year. She was blown away.
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. That's the
Christmas.
gift. That's my gift to you.
That's the gift. So we're changing it this year.
Okay.
So little baby Colby, we're staying over at Grandma and Grandpa's house this year. We're going to give it a whirl.
Okay.
Very fun.
We're going to give it a whirl.
That's good. You're going through it.
We're going through it, man. We're going through it.
Okay, so
any advice?
I'm proud. I do have some advice for you.
Please.
First of all, I'm proud of you because what you're working on is the issue of leaving and cleaving, and a lot of bad family dynamics come down to not the conflict you're having, but refusing to have that conflict.
Right.
So a lot of times, by the time they get counseling to us in their 30s and 40s and 50s even, they've gone through 2.5 decades of never having the conflict of leaving and cleaving. So one partner has shut up and just taken it, or they've not talked it all the way through, so they've kind of started the conflict but not come to any resolution.
Yeah.
And unless you leave and cleave, then you actually cannot establish security and identity for your own family.
Right.
And it creates all sorts of dysfunction in your dad and mom and your in-laws. Now, here's the question, how you do that. Now, this is the one piece of advice I give you. And I've given this to thousands of couples, and I don't care what age you are out there, you apply this. If you're in your 60s and your parents are still alive, this will work.
That's good.
Here's the advice. Whatever decision you two come to, with her parents, you are always the good cop, and she is always the bad cop. With your parents,
It's true.
you are always the bad cop.
That's good.
And she is always the good cop.
Yeah.
So let's say that Carissa actually really wants to go spend Christmas with her parents, but you end up spending it, the plan is, you get a plan, you end up spending it with yours. And she didn't really want to do that, but after you explained it all and you saw it and thought, and last year we did this and that, and so you made it, she goes, okay, we'll do it with your parents. Now, what she has to do to her parents is not go, yeah, I gave in again. She has to look at it and say, Mom, we're staying over there. We made that decision. It was my decision. We're going over there, and you're going to have to learn to deal with it. And what you have to do is, what's your brother-in-law's name again?
Michael.
Michael, I don't know what to do with Carissa. I don't know what to do. Help me with her. I just want to tell you, I love it over here. And you're the best mother-in-law ever.
Isn't it Michelle?
Oh, I thought he said brother-in-law for some reason.
I was like, wait a second.
Oh, Michelle. Sorry. There's probably a lot of confusion going on.
You get the point.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, you'll do this to your kids. You always think it's the spouse that's turning the marriage awry. You
Point it on them.
You do.
So you can't pin it on them. You got to pin it on yourself.
And even
You're really good at this.
You are really good at this.
I've a lot of time with young married couples.
I'll receive
I'm
that.
sure a lot of experience. You should. On that note, too, one of the things that Allie, my wife, brought up a couple of years ago was, Ty, with your family, on this note, you got to take the lead on initiating the conversation.
Yes.
Don't wait for me to hear from your mom or your sister, hey, what are you guys thinking for the holidays? And then I have to be the one to lead that. You should be the one leading it, and I'm going to do the same with my family. It's that same.
What I like you guys, get a plan early.
Yes.
Get a plan early. You can always edit a plan, but the thing is, when you tell your parents in October, here's what we're doing for Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's an entirely different thing than calling your mom up, I already bought the food, all that sort of thing. By the way, this is the problem you want. If your parents want you over a lot, you're a blessed person.
Yes.
So you just got to...
It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
With a new baby, I'll take it.
That's it. You guys deal with a lot of drama. You minister to youth. You guys know about drama. You got young staffs. You got young people you minister to. And not that older people have a lot of drama too, but let's change the scenario from in-laws, outlaws into you're going into a family gathering and there's drama between two family members. Brother-in-law doesn't like brother-in-law. Sister's not talking to sister. Mom is upset with child 3 of 4. What, as a person who wants to bring God-honoring, Jesus-centering Christmas, how do you handle that? What can you do to make the drama between two family members or two family friends better at Christmas time?
De-escalating drama. That's great.
De-escalating drama.
Now that I'm thinking of it, it probably stirs up a little more drama. We even though, if there's drama within the family, what we do, we play games.
Yeah.
And we're a competitive family. And so that, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of healing in that, or there's a lot of things that come out within the game.
Do you know why I think football's good? It's a way to get all your frustration and stress out against everyone.
That's right.
It's legal.
Playing or watching?
Playing.
Get out there.
Playing is better. Like I was, as a young man, I would have been incarcerated 3 or 4 times had it not been for football.
For football.
Thank God for football.
So, there's a proxy stress relief.
Sure.
Yeah.
We played Family Feud last year, and I didn't think my sister was being a good host. And so, I lovingly shared that with her, and, it wasn't good, but in the moment, but there came healing.
Did you take her place?
There came healing. No, it didn't end the greatest, so I'm not this probably isn't adding to the point.
You're actually making the point.
So I'm
in
more
the
advice.
middle of the conflict, you criticized her game hosting abilities.
Yeah, and so, but since then, we've grown.
Yes.
We've grown.
It facilitated more conversations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it does. It does.
I love that. Right. For us, if it's Thanksgiving, going around the table and sharing what you're thankful for, there's just something about it. Even if there's beef with 2 people or there's the white elephant tension in the room, it just helps everybody remember what really matters most. So that's for Thanksgiving. I'm always one who's, I know you're big on conflict resolution, Kurt, just to get 2 people face to face with each other.
Yes.
Not saying, look, you're mad because of A and you're mad because of B. That will probably heighten it.
Right.
More of just helping people remember, like, we gotta protect what's sacred here.
Yeah.
Right.
There's more important things than what she said or what you think he thinks about you, whatever it might be. Like, let's remember that we don't have a long time with each other during this holiday season, so let's make it the most we can.
Sure.
So a couple Christmases ago, father, mother, and adult daughter came to me and they said, we're having a conflict. She's made a life choice that we don't like. She's trying this new career. We don't like the career. We think she should do this and that. She's like, well, I'm my own person. And so they're like, we want to resolve all this and da-da-da. And I said, oh, you guys are leaving a major fact out of this conflict. What? No, we've told you everything. I said, no, absolutely not bringing up the most important thing. You have a 10-year-old brother. You just said something a minute ago. Let's keep the main thing there.
Essentially, keep the main thing the main thing.
I said, what you guys are going to do is you're going to bring this conflict into Christmas, and you're going to ruin Christmas for the one person in this family that Christmas is actually for.
Wow.
That's great. Wow. That's great.
And so here's what I'm asking you to do. Can you take a pause on your conflict for just 4 weeks and go, the same career issue will exist January 2nd and all that, and go, can we make this other family member who's still just a kid after all, have a great Christmas? They all kind of decelerated and went, oh, you're right, we don't want to rob Christmas from him. And then once they got calmer and cooler minds, they actually were able to work it out. She actually got some permission to do a thing over here, and now they're doing good. But it is that going,
I like that.
Can we draw attention to the relationships that matter and not make our conflict the narrative?
That's right. You helped refresh their perspective.
Exactly.
The line that pops in my head is, just coming to this holiday season, it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so when you're approaching those moments, you want your agenda and you have your ideas and how you want to take, but this is bigger than me. My beef, my drama, my conflict, what's taking place here is family sitting around this table. It's bigger than me. So let's enjoy this moment.
That's huge.
Here's another piece of advice again. It's right from the passage. Paul says, if it is possible. Sometimes it's not always possible. Sometimes you need to go into, there's a divorce been going on in your family for 10 decades, and you're going in there with the expectation and anxiety, I've got to help this out as a Christian. Here's what I tell people. I say, listen, speak the truth in love. Some people are lovers, and they don't want to speak up. Some people are truth bombs, and they want to blow things up. I said, the truth is, you got to go, what's the most loving way I could say the truth? The most loving way is usually one-on-one, not explosive. It's a question, not a declarative. But I can speak the truth in a loving way. And the lovers have got to go, okay, this holiday I'm probably going to have to say a few uncomfortable things, so I'm saying the most loving way. The truth teller is going to go, I want to be 90% more diplomatic than I've been in the past.
Yeah.
But it's not always possible for you to change the conflict, but it is possible for you to go, the best version of love and truth.
Yeah.
And I actually pause and go, everything I think is not always all the truth. About 80% of this is my opinion. I might be right, but I can't tell you it's the truth. Let's get down to what's really the truth.
Yeah.
That last 10, 20%. And then again,
No, that's solid.
how do you say it in the most? And then then they're adults. Then they got to make their own decisions. Not always possible for me to bring all the unity to the family.
That's right, and that's really not our job, right?
Yeah.
Like this verse makes that crystal clear. But I think oftentimes we set the tone with our tone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not just what you say, it's how you say it, like you're talking about. And you can either choose to speak out of passion, you can choose to speak with this agenda, I'm going to get my point across, or you can speak calmly, you can slow your pace a little bit, and you can ask questions like you're saying. And when that's coming out of authentic love, even if the issue isn't fully resolved, and it may never be fully resolved, at least they know love in this family comes first.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Because what you said was really good. That whole 80% is probably my opinion. That 20% truth. How do you find yourself in that? Deciding
you got to study the Bible in the original Greek.
It takes a lot of time.
Honestly, you're going back and going, what does the scripture say? What is the revealed truth of God? This might be a preference of mine that feels very true, but is this a priority of Jesus? Is this some main and plain to what Paul taught? Is my opinion based more on how I'd want this family to be, or really what God has said? A lot of people have an idea of what a family is, and it's really more our cultural norm for what they hoped it would be than it really is something biblical.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask as much as I can for people to have a biblical response. And I'm not quoting scriptures left and right, especially to people that don't go to church or anything. I'm just going, what do I know for sure is true in the Word of God? And I'm going to go with that. And if I can't answer that, if I'm going, I'm not exactly sure what is this is cultural, what are this is preference, and what of this is really the Bible, I'm going to study more and shut up.
Yeah.
You know, here, a couple real practical things I do, and that's just super practical. The person that you're most anxious about seeing, go right up to them and give them a big hug. Throw your arm around them, take the initiative, and say something reassuring. And then I go, when I leave, after I leave this family gathering, or after I leave this party, how will people feel about what I said to them? I'm not going to worry as much about, we always worry, is this the right way to say it, or is that the right way to say it? I'm going to more go, after I leave, will they go, I was glad I saw him again. I don't agree with everything he does. I don't agree with his lifestyle. I don't agree with this. But man, it was good to see him. I probably, you guys get tired of it. I mentioned Bob Goff as my number one encourager all the time.
It's a good one.
I don't think anyone's ever spent time in a room with Bob and went, I wish he wouldn't have shown up tonight. Oh my gosh.
So encouraging.
What a sad sack, That's
a good way of putting it.
But Bob drops a lot of truth bombs, a lot of challenges to people, but he does it in a way that's for you and encouraging. And I go, I want people to go, I'm glad Kurt was here tonight.
Yeah.
Even if I don't agree with him, or even if we have this side conflict.
It's completely disarming.
Yeah.
It really is, because you know Bob's intent, and even in the way he says it, you're going, okay, this guy is for me, not against me. Even if I don't really agree with everything he's saying, I know he's looking out for me.
But what I loved about your practical number one, give a hug, but also along with that whole ask questions. When it comes to those people as well. Have a pre-planned question that you have in their mind. That's a follow-up to how you're doing. Hey, how's work going? Or whatever it may be. But be intentional about the questions that you're asking as well in that moment as well.
That's good.
Yep, absolutely.
I feel like there's something here, one more thing, guys, like in this verse, for the person who feels like it's their job to make sure that in their family dynamics, they have to keep all the plates spinning, and they're going from parents to brother and sister to aunt and uncle, and they feel like they're the ones that has to maintain that. I feel like Paul in this verse is just saying, that's not your job.
Right.
Let that pressure and that weight come off your shoulders. Enjoy your family time. Love them and do everything you can to help maintain that love. But understand that it is your role to center Christ in this family dynamic, and He is the one who takes care of the outcome. The outcome isn't up to you.
That's right.
I just feel like I've talked to some people recently who had some anxiety over these holidays and this holiday season, where they're going, man, if only you knew about my family. Like when I'm with them, it's worse than when I'm not, because I just feel all this weight. Man, I just want that weight to be lifted off.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Families are the most wonderful thing ever and the most burdensome thing ever, depending on kind of your experience. Here's what I love about this. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, speak all these white. No, it doesn't say that. It says live at peace.
Wow, that's
right.
Here, what happens in families a lot of times is out of the woundedness of our family of origin, we say wounded things to each other.
Sure.
So hurt people. So then you're like, my stepfather said, my sister said to me, my mom said, or didn't say. And we get hung up on those words. And so then we go into the gathering and we're like, I would like you to reverse those words. I want you to say this. And if those things aren't said, or they're not said in the way we want them to be said, then we get disappointed. The verse puts the emphasis on the right place. You know why people say hurt things? It's because they're hurt. One family, dad lost his wife to a tragic disease. And he went through about a year of really difficult grieving where he said some ugly things to other family members. And it's just, he had anger over his grief about losing his wife tragically. Wow. Well, then that family became obsessed with those things that he said. And I'm like, you just have to have grace for those. I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm not saying healing isn't possible. I'm just saying if you hang all your expectation on, we have to resolve every phrase that was said, you're never going to get there.
That's great.
What you need to do is live forward in peace. I'm going to be a person that makes peace. I'm going to bring the peace of Christ in the situation. I'm going to treat you in a peaceful way. And the funny thing is, we have joy and peace in our life, not when we're done with conflict. We insert joy and peace in our life so we can handle conflict. If you live at peace, that's your chance to actually have honest conversations. But you got to live the peace into the broken relationships.
And it's a proactive thought too.
Yes.
Like when you're driving up, you're going to battleground. Like you know what
we
you're
get
going
debating
into.
in our mind. Here's what I'm going to say. If they say this, I'm going to do this.
Because family, these are repetitive things every year we head into it. So
100%.
Driving into it.
Amen.
I love that.
Well, we're praying for you here at the FlipSide in every office holiday party, every family gathering. Relationships are difficult and complicated, but they're absolutely worth it. And in fact, if you know someone, they're just struggling a little bit with family gatherings and those sort of gatherings, would you send them this episode and encourage them and pray for them and know that we're encouraging them and pray for them too. And also remember, like and subscribe and follow. Next week on the FlipSide, we're actually going to talk some more about how you can actually have the most positive holiday. We're going to go on the positive. Are we doing next week on the FlipSide, Haley? Oh, Haley's looking at me going, this is the last episode.
Is it?
2019.
Join us at Christmas. Join us at Christmas. Oh, I do want to say this. If you haven't got a Christmas ticket, there's room in every service. On the 17th at 8:30, get a ticket there and see me there. That one's going to be the best one. It's the third one that day. On the very first day, you're going to be blown away. 17th, 8:30. Join me for the Christmas services. Like, subscribe, follow, and thanks for tuning in to the FlipSide.